Welcome back, watchers and listeners, to the June 1st extravaganza.
League's cooking.
Yeah, League is cooking. Something happened that we all knew was going to happen, and something happened that I swore would never happen. So
makes it feel like it's right around the corner, but we still got about 100 days.
Oh, that's tough. Don't even say that. I saw a stat last week that was like you're halfway through the off season, and I was like, ooh.
It's gonna be a long 100 days, but it's summer, so it'll fly by, and we'll be to preseason in no time.
Maybe we'll get another blockbuster trade soon, but I don't know if any blockbuster trade is going to beat the Myles Garrett trade.
Yeah, insanity. Really helps make their. I wonder if they forced it in some degree just to make their draft look better. I don't know. Insane.
We'll get to that in a second, but let's just say Myles Garrett for Jared Verse, a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third. So that's 3 picks, including a first rounder and Jared Verse. That's a haul.
Yeah, it's a haul, but it's arguably the best defensive player in all of football. I mean,
he's the best. He besides Aaron Donald, is he like the best defensive player of this era?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, the facts that it's just like, what is Verse worth? You know what I mean?
So
is he worth a first on his own? Yeah.
He's worth more than a first on his own. So Jared Verse plays a premium position, right? He rushes the passer, and he is statistically last year he was a better run defender than Myles Garrett. I mean, we know that Myles Garrett thing is stopping the pass, but Verse plays on the line. He rushes the passer. So we would agree that any sort of pass rusher is probably worth a little more than like a secondary player.
Totally.
McDuffie went for pick 29, a 2026 fifth, a 2026 sixth, and a third for next year. So McDuffie obviously has 2 rings, is experienced, has all pros. Jared Verse has an all pro, and he won Rookie of the Year last year.
Probably first and a second, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I think he would have gone for at least what McDuffie went.
Yeah, I mean, probably a little better, right?
Yeah, premium position.
First and a second. I mean, I would say it's definitely on the board versus a first and a... I mean, the one thing is pick 29 was... At least it was so late, almost like a second-round pick on its own. But
well, the Rams think they're going to have at least pick 28 this year, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. I don't hate it for the Rams. It's
a lot.
A lot. It makes me a little nervous because it's like, okay, Stafford's another year older, coming off an amazing year, but a long year, and like might regress a little bit. But then I guess the idea is, hey, as long as Stafford makes it through 8 games, we let Simpson sit and learn under McVay and Stafford for 2 months. Like, it might not be the worst case scenario if you have this young guy coming in to like get you through to the playoffs, but I don't know.
Well, it just feels like so much for. So on paper, you have the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the league, right? In reality, those are the defensive player of the year is 31 years old, and Matthew Stafford is 38. If we're saying Verse is worth a first and a second, did you essentially give up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round pick for this next 2-year window?
Makes me kind of be like, hey, should have just taken Ruben Payne. Kept all your picks.
I disagree with the take being floated is, now their draft makes sense. And if you look at it as, they're about to give up all their draft capital so they could never get a quarterback these next few years, then that makes sense. But I don't know.
You don't like it. You think it's a bad move for the Rams.
I think if they don't win the Super... thank you, Rams. You took the pressure off of everyone else. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year,
100%,
it's a disaster.
Which almost never works. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially with such an old quarterback. Like, you don't want Ty Simpson's learning rookie Payne's year, not a real contender year, to be when you're like, just gave up so much capital, paying this.
Yeah, what if Stafford gets hurt week 3?
You kind of will know if he's good or not. Like, if Ty Simpson can't succeed with McVay and this team... he's not an NFL player. You know what I mean?
100%. And again, I think for me, I love Stafford. I expect Stafford next year to play like a top 10 quarterback, but factoring in their schedule's harder this year. He played a really long season. Like, I don't think he's going to look as good as last year. And that's not me saying he's going to be a bad player, but he was the reason the offense sung.
Yeah, and I mean, as good as he was, like, they were still vulnerable in round one. They weren't this juggernaut. I mean, I do think the addition of Watson and McDuffie and the line is better. Like, should be the best defense in football.
I mean, I think they have the best roster in football because they are the only super team that also has a superhuman quarterback.
Yes, I mean, we'll see at 42. How old is he?
Depending on age.
I don't know, 40.
It's a lot to give up. I think that's why I'm hesitant about it because it's so much draft capital. It really is this like Madden GM era of just like fuck the draft capital. And if you were going to give that up, it's like, oh, well, I guess we have to take a quarterback or just do what everyone else does after you lose your future Hall of Fame quarterback, suck, and then get a top 3 pick. Like, if you're going all in that much, go get an amazing player to line up with Myles Garrett or a linebacker. Like, now their linebacker core feels weak.
Honestly, you're convincing me. I mean, I do like it on paper. It is kind of like, oh my god, like, this is like a LA Dodgers-esque situation we got back in LA. Like, oh my god, it's, again, you really need that guy? Are you kidding me? But, hey, why not have Verse and Bane? Now you just have, I mean, Myles Garrett is that much better than both of them, obviously, but still, it's like, man, one Myles Garrett injury, that's like you said, 6 picks worth of stuff.
Yeah, and from the Browns, like, I think for the Browns this was great, to be clear. But Jared Verse, he's 25, which I guess now guys are coming out of college later, right? We had people in the draft this year who were 23, 24 years old.
Totally.
And that's a crapshoot if they're going to hit. You have a player who you know has conservatively a 6-year runway. Like, more liberally, up to 10, 12-year run. Like, you don't know. So I feel like that was a lot to give up. It's been well reported that the Rams were trying to not give up Verse, and they were going back and forth, but they eventually just had to throw him in. And I get it. It might be the best defensive player ever, but
yeah, it's insane. I would be thinking about it from my team's perspective. Like, I would have been pissed if we gave up Christian Gonzalez, a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick.
That's it. That's the trade.
Yeah, literally. It's like, that's our best defensive player. Now we just have a different best defensive player, but, like, yeah. I agree. I would feel like we got kind of beat a little bit. I mean, this is classic Rams. Fuck them picks. Like, we'll see, I guess, but
is there a team more S-Bob?
But also, if you're worried about Stafford getting hurt until you draft a young quarterback, like, then you aren't all in. And
I
don't think do a trade like
I don't think they drafted Simpson because they're worried about Stafford getting hurt. I think they drafted Simpson because they knew that they don't have any draft capital out of the next few years to move up at all. So even if they were to get a top 15 pick, they couldn't get into the top 10 to get a quarterback with the current draft capital they have. And that's assuming that they don't do well in these next 2 years and end up with a top 15 pick. So I think they drafted Simpson because this was in the works. I mean, it's been reported for a while, the Myles Garrett stuff. But so I think they drafted Simpson because they knew they weren't going to have draft capital. I still feel like it was such a reach on Simpson. I would hate it less if they used their second-round pick. But again, they couldn't move back into the first round because they knew they were about to give up all this stuff.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. They feel like...
It feels like me playing video games. That's what it feels
like. They're going
to
need those picks, too, because, like, Devontae ain't getting any younger. He might be off a cliff. We don't know for sure. Puka was in rehab. Is he at OTAs? I don't even really know.
He's at OTAs.
Yeah, so he's back, but still, like...
Can't trust him.
Powder keg. Yeah, you never know. Anything could happen. It's like, all of a sudden you lose your core, and then your young defender's gone. Yeah, it could flip to where, like, oh, we need a lot of pieces, and we have no draft picks pretty quick. Like, but it's fun for this year. I mean, the NFL is the greatest league. This kind of trade doesn't just like pop up kind of in other leagues. Like, I don't know. Insane.
I mean, Myles Garrett.
It's so easy to follow, and
I
saw the Herd's take on it. I was like,
yeah.
It's so true. Just like classic trade, a couple picks, player, like,
and it's like
it was electric.
It's so fuck them picks, and to be positive. we've never seen Myles Garrett play with a team who has a good quarterback with a lead, right? We assume that Stafford is going to be playing with more leads than Shador or Deshaun, right? So I expect him to get more. Maybe he'll break his own sack record. Like, he should be better on a team where they're depending on a pass rush like that to close games. And he already feels unstoppable. Like,
totally.
Like, is he going to just completely wreck it? Like, I don't know. I think that'll be really hard to pass on the Rams.
Biggest winners are the fans. Like, Myles Garrett on a good team in big moments is going to be awesome. I'm glad. I think you guys got to play him, right? We won't see him until the Super Bowl, hopefully. But
I was going to say, the AFC is just who gets to play the Rams right now. But that's how people felt about the Packers last year after Micah. So you never know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's his thing. If Myles Garrett gets an injury at all, it's going to be, like, huge mistake.
Or Stafford. Yeah. I think that Myles Garrett, he already has an argument to be the best defensive player ever, and we've never seen him on a good team. Like, it could be a whole new level. So I understand that, and in that case, it's worth to me, like, it'd be worth 4 first if you get Myles Garrett to be, like, truly the best defensive player ever for the next 5 years. That said, I think their window to me is 2 years, but is there any team more SBOB this year than the Rams?
No, absolutely not. I mean, yeah, obviously now I think their window's open. Before this trade, like, I don't know. Quarterback Stafford is getting real old. I don't know. Like, everything went so well last year. It's the classic, like, in fantasy football, every other year rule, where it's like everything went perfectly, no injuries, nothing banged up. Like, if that's the thing, Stafford doesn't. It's not like he needs to tear his ACL to be out. Like, if he just gets banged up, the entire game gets so much harder for him. And, like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's risky. 2 years, if they're, like, real contenders in 2 years, I mean, that is amazing for Stafford. So we'll see.
I wore my Georgia jersey for Stafford today because I love Stafford. I think I don't think this is true next year. I think going into this year, he's a top 5 quarterback. Because of age, I assume he will fall off. But I think he's an amazing quarterback. He's my second favorite quarterback in the league. But I still, despite loving him, I acknowledge that health is a major question and age is a major question, and that's why, I think liberally we could say that he's still good for 2 more years. Conservatively, we could have seen the cliff could happen this year. So that's why I'm saying that's their window. But I mean, I think they're more SBOB than the Bills. I think they're more SBOB than the Ravens. Trying to think who hasn't been there. Like.
I mean, yes and no. I would just say the only reason I wouldn't I would say pressure's higher. Stafford doesn't have any pressure. I think. Like, there's no pressure on Stafford.
He has a ring.
There's way more pressure on, Josh Allen and Lamar and Burrow. I would say those are the 3.
I think the pressure's on McVay, specifically.
Yeah.
Because he's credited for a lot of these moves. He has his hands in Les Snead's pot. Like, he GMs a little. I think the pressure's going to be on McVay.
Totally. But, even he has a ring. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, I hope they don't do well.
I will. I was saying all summer that my NFC Championship pick was going to be Rams Bears, so I'm back to that, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to picture any other team really
It's going to be Rams Bears, Rams Seahawks, Eagles maybe.
Rams, yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the thing we all knew that were going to happen. I have so many less takes about this because I feel like we've talked about it. But
I know, yeah.
Oh, wait.
It is crazy.
Who's from the Browns side? 11 picks in 2027. And
that's nice. That's a great draft, allegedly.
Shador Watson competition. Who's the day 1 starter this year without Myles Garrett?
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I don't think Deshaun Watson should be in the league. I'm rooting for Shador.
I'm rooting for Shador as well, but I think it's going to be Deshaun.
We'll see. That feels wrong.
I think they're drafting a quarterback next year, though. I mean, they got a fuck ton of picks. Anyway, back to the AFC here. So, and we had an AFC to NFC trade. Now we have an NFC to AFC trade. A.J. Brown traded for a 2027 fifth and a 2028 first.
Yeah. So nice being able to keep next year's first. That's going to be a
I have a take about that.
Commodity draft after. Like, I could see us even trading that, maybe getting a next year first and another set. Like, you never know, depending where we land and who the players are on the board and how desperate teams are for quarterback. So great to keep that pick.
I mean, this
surprising a little bit. Nobody else came along with that offer. A lot of takes I've been hearing is like AJ Brown was pretty loud about that he was going to the Patriots and he'd be unhappy on your team, and that like that was a real thing. Like, okay, we're not going to do that if AJ Brown's not all in. And, like, he was that hell-bent set on the Patriots.
I've heard that there was concern about his knee, which we haven't heard all spring, so I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, I saw that, too.
To me, I was like, his knee, I don't really, like, he looked fine last year.
I'm concerned about every NFL player's knees, honestly.
Yeah, are we chopping up his bad last year to his knee opposed to Jalen Hurts' performance? Like, I don't know. That felt weird to me.
His medicals. He has a past knee injury, but
no, I know, but that's not why he was bad last year.
Exactly. No, I think the Rams maybe didn't want to give up that 2027 pick, because that's the thing. I think you had to beat the Patriots for sure. So like you couldn't offer the same thing. So like they probably were like just didn't want to quite give up that 2027.
I never understood why the Rams were in the mix. They have a top 5 wide receiver.
Makes me think they're worried about Devontae or Puka or something isn't quite right there. Because if that duo is feeling amazing, I agree. Why would you think about giving up a first? So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think this is great. I'm happy for AJ Brown. I'm happy for Drake May. I think I have no culture concerns with Vrabel at the helm. I love Vrabel. Rest in peace, Diana. Yeah. Your reporting was incredibly accurate. Like, the right picks and the right years. So, Thank you, Diana, for your service. That said...
One thing I'm a little surprised by is... Because I've been feeling like Patriots are so underrated this offseason. Some of the lines set in Vegas, like Drake May was like 600. He projected 600.
He's up now in the MVP odds.
Yeah, now he's third high. He passed Stafford, and which makes sense. I mean, this offense is so well rebuilt. One thing I was hearing about is like Jaden Daniel, after he had that amazing year, they didn't really do much. Then he kind of fell off. We've added Elijah Vera Tucker, Lomu, Romeo Dobbs, and AJ Brown. Like, it's gonna be
because people will have tape on May now, like they had tape on Jaden, so they'll understand more coverages against him. So you can't just run back the same thing.
Yeah, totally. I agree, and just giving him more. Like, we were in the middle of a rebuild, so we had all this opportunity and all these picks. That's just amazing. Some things, like, the specific fit. One, I love seeing him in his old Brady jersey as a baby. The interview where he's had that Patriots rug for 2 years while being on the Eagles. It's like
shout out Maria Taylor, Georgia Bulldog. I love all her interviews. She's great with the players.
So
she did great
fire. But, like, dude just meant to be it feels like vibes post Vrabel summer are like hitting at like we got a new. It kind of feels like Diggs coming in, being like, let's go fuck up the Bills. Like, this is all I've ever wanted. It kind of feels like that over again vibes wise. But the specific fit. So last year, Drake May had almost 1,200 pass yards, 4th in the NFL versus man coverage, and 18 touchdowns, which was tied 3rd. AJ Brown, since 2022 against man coverage, has 129 receptions, 1st in the NFL, almost 2,000 receiving yards against man, 1st in the NFL, and 22 receiving touchdowns against man, 4th in the NFL. So just like Drake May's strength against man defense is AJ Brown's strength as a receiver, and like it's gonna help open stuff up for Dobbs, for Travion Henderson.
Oh yeah, I think Dobbs will eat underneath.
Yes, and now you are, like you said, now you're seeing Vegas change all this stuff. I was like, didn't we all know this was happening? Like, I've been assuming he's on the team, being like, we are going to be amazing.
You should have placed your Patriots division bet before the trade.
Yeah.
That's what I did before we signed Walker, and it's like now it's like the odds switch so much off of one player, which feels crazy. But I love this for the Patriots. I would give the Patriots an A++. Like, I feel like this is the minimum you can give up for AJ Brown. My take is more from the Eagles side, which is this really all Howie Roseman, the best GM in the league, could get? Jalen Waddle went for a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th. I think AJ Brown is better than Jalen Waddle tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here's my thing with that. I hear what you're saying. I do think the Broncos overpaid for Jalen Waddle. Like,
so maybe that's it. The market
just because they did it doesn't mean everyone else has to.
Yeah.
And the Eagles lost all their leverage with
Yeah.
adding all the receivers that they did, and just like clearly, like AJ Brown didn't want to be there. He wanted to be with the Patriots, and like, I mean, you saw it on Julian Edelman's podcast months ago. Like, this was a decision he made, and this is what he wanted to do.
And we know he can be out of season
You
happy.
see the Vrabel interview where he was like, first time I saw him in Tennessee, he said, I wish the Patriots drafted me. And he was like, I didn't like that very much at the time, but like,
but now I love
here
it.
we are. Exactly. So here's the thing. When you think about it, I can't really think about any other player this was the case for. I'm sure there are examples. But so they traded a first-round pick for A.J. Brown to acquire him. Then they went to 2 Super Bowls and won one. And then they traded him for a first-round pick. So, like, he, in terms of, like, buying a new car and driving it off the lot, I mean, he made them so much better, was incredible, and then you got the exact same thing you got for him, like, 5 years later.
Well, I know
so it's kind of amazing for them.
That's true. This is not a nuanced take, but this is to me feels like reality. This is a now league. So in the now, right now, when you are prepping for next year, you can't really prep for 2 years out. What happened is you traded A.J. Brown for a 5th. That's what had happened right now. That's what affects this year. Like, that's why, like, I thought, and I told you this, I thought they would never agree to a 2028 first. Like, I was like, oh, that feels weird. Like, Patriots are, even if people think the Patriots are going to have a down year this year, they're only going to get better as they spend more money and add more players with Drake May. I expect Drake, I don't think it's crazy to say I expect Drake May to be better in year 4 than year 2. Like, so that felt weird, and again, it's a now league. So the impact the Patriots have right now is they don't have a 5th round pick, but they have a top 10 receiver. It's conservatively. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's the thing. Not having to throw in a 2nd or a 3rd or a 4th, like a meaningful pick, feels so nice. Now, even in 2028, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, we're fine. You know what I mean? We could.
And who knows? So much could happen. You could get
with our 2nd, or we could trade our 2027 round when everyone's going quarterback hungry.
Yes.
For the 2020, like we have options still, which does feel really nice. And I mean, he was cheaper than Waddle, and they're basically getting paid the same thing, and we have him locked up through 2029. There won't be any negotiating with them. We'll cut him before we do a new contract. It is just nice to have that zero drama element.
I know Elliott Wolf gets a lot of shit, but this was a great move. Absolutely.
My last thing on it is more of a Josh McDaniels stat, but Josh McDaniels gets yeah, that was a great. I'll just have a couple of them, but when Josh McDaniel gets a new weapon, they have an incredible first year.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
When Devontae Adams went to the Raiders for the first year, he had over 1,500 receiving yards, led the league. He had caught over 100 passes and led the league with 14 touchdowns. Like, incredible. And same thing, I mean, it's Randy Moss, but he had 1,500 receiving yards, a league-high 23 touchdowns, and caught 198 passes.
And then Wes Welker, 1,100 with 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. So, I expect a 1,200 to 1,500 yard season from Brown, honestly.
I expect a 1,200 to 1,500 yard season. I expect 10, anywhere from 8 to 15 touchdowns in that range. I think he'll be a top 5 fantasy wide receiver. I honestly probably lean top 3.
Damn, really? I guess that's true. I did see, his target share was projected 30 cents from some, or 30 cents. 30%
well, maybe because
from some.
I guess you guys run the ball a good amount, but it's not enough to take away. Yeah, I don't know.
We still got though Hunter Henry, Mac Hollins, Romeo Dobbs. There are still other guys that are gonna eat, but yeah, I agree. I think he'll 7 to 10 targets a game.
Yeah, I think again, I think conservatively he'll be a top 10 wide receiver, but I expect him to be top 3, top 4 in fantasy. I think this is great for him. I think it's great for Drake May. Yeah, I don't really have any questions on the Patriots side. It makes a lot of sense. I think a big question is, what does this mean for Jalen Hurts? What does this mean for the Eagles? Addition by subtraction doesn't really always work.
Yeah, you have a lot of. I mean, it's funny we're seeing. I think we'll probably get to that, but what the Giants did yesterday kind of went under the radar, but signed 4 veteran receivers. Honestly, I was a little bit fuck, the Chiefs got to get in here, dude. I'm
staying away from neighbors, bro.
Dude, big time. I mean, they added like every vet receiver on the market that was like pretty bad, basically. I know. I'm surprised they didn't add like a Debo or they went with these guys. They went with Juju and I guess who has like a connection to the coordinator.
Yeah,
but,
Juju and Nagy.
Braxton Berrios, Juju,
and Odell Beckham.
OBJ, and they got a fourth one too. They signed. I forget, but insane. I mean, just adding makes you be like, oh, neighbors must not be playing. Right
One final thought on the Patriots before we go to the Eagles side. This is the same thing of like for Joe Burrow going to the Super Bowl his second year. This is not a trade like the Rams where you are suddenly like obviously the fans expect to be amazing. But this is not like a failure if you don't make the Super Bowl this year. This is a long runway with Brown. This is a long runway with May. This is not like the Rams of like a bust.
I mean, he turns 29 this season.
I mean, for me, you didn't give up that much. You have a young quarterback. I expect A.J. Brown to be good for at least 2 more years.
Exactly. And giving up a 2028, it's like if we were to draft a first-round receiver in 2028, it's really for him to be our one in 2029. It's so pushed off when that would happen.
Yeah.
I do like us 2027 if we do keep the pick. I do think a young potential receiver one
to learn under Brown.
To learn under Brown. We did both our trenches this year. Let's hope that kind of works out and we can go with a kind of a luxury pick and get a true receiver to build under Brown.
Yeah, and I liked your trenches this year, and I know that you think the O-line doesn't have questions. I talked to other Patriots fans, so they disagree. My only question now for the Patriots going into the year is the O-line. And again, I think you have a good group of guys. It's really just about consistency and playing together, which is every O-line. So this is not targeted at you.
I would say, what is the question? I mean, just that.
My questions are... Well, so this is the least question. I think Wilson will have no problem transitioning back to center, but that's been a topic. Campbell, I think it was injury, but did late season fatigue or playing stiffer competition also contribute to it? I do think it's a combination of all of them in a rookie year of having to play such stiff competition off an injury. So again, how does that transition to this year? Elijah Vera Tucker, Morgan Moses, and your right guard, who I'm blanking on their name, their health. Yeah, just those older guys staying healthy. And then how does Lomu fit into this line, or is that more of a down the road question? And again, I think I'm not saying you have a bad group of guys. My questions are more so, can these players play together consistently against a tougher schedule with new placements on the line?
Yeah, I think those are fair. I think no matter what, we won 17 games, we went to the Super Bowl, and our line is 100% better.
Your line is better.
Year. We went from being the only team to ever go to a Super Bowl with 2 rookies on our line to having 0 rookies. Lomu will come in and start eventually, but being able, he'll start on the bench. That's not a question.
He'll be your 6th man.
I do think, yeah, exactly. He'll be our 6th man. I think ideally the best bet is to get Owenu off our line, move Elijah Vera Tucker to right guard, and either depending where if Lomu's ready to try left guard, I think we put him there. I think people have recency bias with Will Campbell. He was one of the best draft picks through 11 weeks of the season. He's the reason Drake May broke some history, having the farthest downfield passes and the best completion rate when doing that. That was because he had such a strong left tackle. I do think the injury and then coming back from injury against much harder competition was just and he's a rookie.
I agree with you. I think it was a combination of being a rookie, having injury, and then going into the deep end. And my question is there anything lingering from that injury? How are we? Can we transition back? You're playing next to a different left guard now, so sometimes that chemistry matters.
I would say besides wide receiver, that is our most improved position group by a mile. Is our line that? So Elijah Vera Tucker and Lomu is the.
Are you more worried about the defensive line than the offensive line?
Yeah, absolutely. We're worried about edge pass rush.
I wrote that down. I said I guess I'm less worried about pass rush. I think you did. I think it's built well. Though you did lose Tonga to us, so that could affect your run stopping.
Yeah, Tonga was nice. I do think. I mean, Barmore and Milton Williams. That is really their strength. We just need Akis to be good.
You just want someone. So your questions then are rushing the passer.
Yeah, getting there fast enough. Which, that's the one thing. Like, if we should have arguably the best secondary in football, I think.
I think so.
Maybe the Broncos, maybe us. It'll be close.
See, I think your 2 is better than the Broncos 2, though.
Exactly. And then you have our safety led the league with picks last year. It's like, yeah, we could be dangerous.
No, my question for sure, I said the O-line stuff already. Playing specifically tougher edge rushers and not necessarily having a complimentary edge rusher on the other side to match that getting to the quarterback. So those are my only questions. Again, I think A.J. Brown's going to be great. I think Drake May's going to be great. I expect you guys. I've had you in the playoffs all off season. I know that that's an unpopular take. I expect you to win the division. I think your roster's so much better than the Bills, and I like your coach a lot more. But
yeah, that's the thing. It's also year 2 with Josh McDaniels and Vrabel. Like, now they're building. They have, some chemistry. They understand how things work. Like, yeah, I could see us taking a real nice leap on offense. And defensively, we'll see. I mean, Carlton Davis is a little bit old. He is our great 2 corner. Like,
yeah, again,
I have much more questions on defense.
It's just the cohesiveness of those lines.
Yeah, exactly.
From the Eagles side, how is this going to affect Jalen Hurts?
I mean, technically it shouldn't. Like,
they
didn't
have
use
Devontae?
them nearly enough last year. It's not like there's this huge amount of volume disappearing. And, I mean, I agree. I think just everyone is a little bit worse. Now you have, it's kind of what the Giants did. Oh, you might not have neighbors. Let's add 4 guys who all suck and try to make one good one. It's like, never works in fantasy. Can't trade 3 mid players for an elite player. Like, everyone's tried that before.
I think this is going to be a prove-it year for Hurts. I think this is going to be, because after this year, it's easier to move off of him. And if there really is this locker room noise around him, maybe him and the AJ beef needed some separation. Maybe he comes out, he's a little more respectable. And they said the things about how he doesn't want to go under center and changes the call. Maybe he respects that a little more, tries to grow with that, and is able to have a good year, bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, their thing is really OC, right? It's kind of the same thing with you and the Eagles last year. It was like, it was our OC was the
thing about them is their OC's they're always rotating their OC. That's unique about the Eagles.
That's true. I mean, I know some Eagles fans, and they were just so pissed at the OC. But then they tried to blame it on Hurts some, right? That he wasn't listening to the play calls, which I don't know if I buy that, to be honest. Like,
I think
he probably just wasn't making the throw because it wasn't there, or like, I don't know.
I think he did audible more than normal, but I mean, you put those audibles into your offense, so if you don't want your quarterback audibling, don't add an audible to that call.
Totally.
No,
I do think, I mean, OC is like, we're going to really learn some this season. There's a lot of new coaches.
A lot of new OCs.
A lot of OCs who are now coaches. Like, we're going to really learn, like, who was legit and who was getting carried by their team. And
I have the Eagles in the playoffs, but I think I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win the division.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, I think the Eagles are worse. Like, Mekhi Lemon's going to be great, but he's a rookie. Like, no one ever is amazing.
They got to clean up their books. Their defense is getting paid and all that. So it could be a tough stretch for the Eagles.
Totally. I agree.
To finish us off, I want to tell you where I'm putting Drake May and AJ Brown in my top 5 combo list, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, number 1 is Joe and Jamar, and I feel pretty good about that.
That's
number 2, pending health, is Stafford and Puka.
Yeah.
Does that feel fair?
That feels fair. I mean, like, I would never do that. I would much rather have Drake and AJ, but that's just age and
I'd rather have Drake and Puka, but
yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I think Puka's better than
that's
AJ.
part of it.
Yeah.
And then this is where it gets tricky. The AJ Brown Drake versus Sam Darnold JSN. I think JSN's better than AJ Brown, and I think Drake May's better than Sam Darnold. So those are like my 3-4, depending on how
it's tough. I mean, like, there's a world AJ Brown is actually a better fit with Drake May. And, like, that's what Drake May, I think, made history last year. It was, like, the best, downfield passing we've ever seen in terms of, like, completion percentage for passes, however
he had the best downfield completion percentage
in the history of the NFL. It was, like, insane. And so, like, I think it's smart. It's like, hey, maybe he was overachieving and was fucking locked in, but, like, we can't. Now that our schedule's getting way harder, we can't just count on him to break history.
You have to change as you grow.
I mean, yeah, his throws, it wasn't really the tape. His throws were beating good coverage.
No,
but it was just like he was perfect. Now AJ Brown, that's his strength. Like, Drake can be a little worse, and we can still make close to his minute. Or room for not being perfect is much bigger now. It should just at least let him stay on track and not, like, decline like Jaden did,
But no, yeah, May and Brown and Darnold and JSN are a 3-4. And then I got Goff and St. Brown. I kind of knocked them just because of Goff, to be honest.
What about Pat and Rasheed?
I mean, we got to get Rasheed out of a cell before he makes a list and gets that JSN money. I mean...
yeah, I can't have...
It's not
I
a
would
quarter...
have Pat and Rasheed over Goff and St. Brown, honestly.
But that's because you'd have Pat over Goff. Like, I don't know. If St. Brown's better than Rasheed.
But that's like, I would have Drake. I think quarterback's more important. Like, I would have Drake and AJ over Stafford and Puka. Just for the quarterback.
Just like age, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think this was a gift from the gods of football.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've been operating. That's why I have just been confused by some of the lines in Vegas and like,
yeah.
What? And now it's like, oh, they were just waiting for this to officially happen. And it's like, now we're respected.
You know what? Stay tuned for a betting show soon. We'll do some preseason bets.
Yeah, honestly. There's still a lot of money to be made for the Pats. Some of them, they'll also even out after the trade hype goes away a little bit.
That's true. That's probably a better time to bet in like a month.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried to do my Chiefs bets before we signed anybody, and I'm glad I did. So that's like... That's my hack. Do it before free agency. Yeah. Anyway, any last thoughts before we wrap up? You got your boy. Myles Garrett is now relevant.
Yes, that's so huge. Yeah, I mean, not really. I think the Giants had a couple of a really tough week, obviously. Everything that happened with Dart and Carter, and then the injury news, and then it was just like, oh, man. That's one thing I heard. I was listening to some sports stuff earlier today, and it was like, is this a political move? And it's just a big, like, OBJ, Juju,
yeah,
look at this,
it feels like a carnival.
And they're just gonna cut them all and, like, yeah.
No, it feels like a carnival. I really wanted the Giants to be good, but I think Harbaugh's got himself a sinking ship.
It feels desperate and not really like a plan, or like we're signing them for the fit, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it feels like we had news on Malik we weren't expecting, and now we're in trouble. So we'll see. They might not be the Patriots of last year.
I think
might be the Saints.
It's going to be the Saints. I'm all in on Chuck, which we'll talk more about. I'm so all in on Chuck. It's not even crazy. But yeah, that's our show for the day. My advice is go get yourself some AJ Brown in fantasy and avoid Malik Neighbors at all costs.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there.
Like, rate, subscribe, and go watch our previous episodes. We did some fantasy content and talked about some less exciting NFL news. But
yeah, boring.
Peace.